do an AoE 1 campaign in the intermission. You almost have time to, don't you? Nah. I was getting a quick snack because pretty hungry. It's 9:30 PM here. I think. Yes, that's correct. And yeah, I haven't really eaten a proper meal all day since lunchtime, so if this goes on too much longer, I'm gonna have to keep running for food. So, game 4, it's 2-1 to TyRanT after they've just won their home map, Decisive Fortress, and now we have a set map, which is Land Nomad. It's quite a closed map quite often, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a defensive, passive, boomy one. It often turns out that way, but it can be quite aggressive as well. We saw some aggression in some of the Land Nomad games this weekend, I think. Backed, somebody mentioned in the chat, going aggressive with monks, but in general you're going to see the same civs, to be honest. Chinese, Persians, Mayans, Mongols, all very conventional choices, and both teams have gone with the same ones here. Let's just have a look at the players and their civs and positions. We do have a change of lineup for TyRanT. 1 second, yeah, just checking something. TyRanT is subbing in Slam for Fire. He's going to play Chinese, as he so often has done in the past for them on Arabia, but here playing them in Land Nomad. He's going to play the green colour that we've seen Fire in. Riot playing Mongols and the grey, quite close to Slam actually, but in fact all the TyRanT teams sort of close together. They really don't have much map. If you just look, they're like this. Just like that. On the minimap, the little arc I was doing there. Doubt here is playing Mayans, of course. What else? In the purple colour now, and Viper. No, yeah, it is Viper. Under the TyRanT Pogba name, which has continued to cause confusion for new viewers to the stream who aren't aware of that name change. He's playing in the orange, so TyRanT really only have a small section of the north of the map. It's kind of top v bottom, but Nabs are much more spread out and in better position to take control of the map and the resources. I'm just looking at this left corner. What the hell is this? Look at this. All the gold. So this is going to be a really important place on the map. Wonder is over here for Nabs on the left hand side, closest to it with Persians. And he could get a stone wall across there. I know it's Persian walls, I think they're the weakest in the game, but that'd be quite good. Viper is the one who's playing here. So yeah, both Persian players over here are going to fight over this corner with like 7 gold mines. It's just insane. Mensis playing Mayans in the pocket position on the side where Viper's Persians are. Always makes those plumed archers' lives a little bit precarious. And then we've got Zuppy playing Chinese in the yellow colour. And finally Pike playing Mongols in teal. He's got good spot, 3 balls close by. Plenty of resources in the east, because I feel like Slam, I don't think he missed a spot, although it just kind of feels like somebody missed a spot because there's so many resources over here. I don't know. I wonder if maybe this sort of area in general was, including these balls, was meant to be Riot's spot, and then Slam should be more over here. But I possibly think. Just going to scroll a little bit more. I feel like somebody on the eastern side of the map for TyRanT missed their spot a little bit. They haven't ended up with much map and sort of sharing resources with a spare set here. So Pike could have a good boom here as Mongols, with all the resources and no enemies really close to him. Zuppy's in a really deep pocket position. They have a great start on Land Nomad, of course. The Chinese, I think he'll do well. Mentalist looks good. Not a lot of gold here. It's all the gold near him sort of forward, but they can wall this off actually. Look at all this gold. They can wall there, wall here, and have all this gold to work with. And then obviously Wonder needs to go over here and secure all this and try and stop Viper coming down here and getting it. Viper's spot. Where's his hunting? Got a deer off to the north, that's a long way. Where's he going for boars? Wonder and Viper are kind of sharing these boars right now. Wonder's also got a lot of sheep and deer close. I think Wonder's in a better spot than Viper right now, although Viper's going to try and get 2 boars here like this. Got Loom for the long lure. Who's going to get this first? Should be Viper. Yeah, there you go. So Wonder definitely knows the Viper's somewhere up there. Wonder knows about some of the golds over here. You can see a lot, so he already knows this is important, but they don't yet know about that corner. It would be odd to have explored too much over there unless they had a villager spawn close to there or the sheep. Viper likewise has a little idea just how important this corner is going to be. Let's just scroll around all the players on Fog of War, just see what they can see. Pike's explored well. He knows he's got so much to work with in this corner. Actually sending a Vil all around here as well, just probably collect sheep collecting Vil. Actually, many Vils going out. Maybe he's going to mill some deer. Makes sense to mill these deer as Mongols, that's for sure. Exploring a lot. He's Riot just explored around his pocket position. Mentalist with insane exploration. He's actually found Doubt all the way across the map, playing his opposing Civ and the Mayans. You can see all this stuff in front of him, so knows it's important for him to kind of gain control of the sort of forward area in front of his base, more towards the middle of the map. Slam can see some resources. He's chosen to mill deer as well. Doesn't really have much visibility on the enemy. Look at Zoppy's scouting. Whoa! Look at his score. I mean, he gives it away, but this is insane. He's found Viper. He's found Doubt. He's found Rhea. He's found all 4 of the opposing players, I think, apart from maybe Slam. I can't see something where you can see Slam. He's also got a villager roaming around. I wonder what he's going to do with that. If he's going to go and lame deer. Just look. Picking up the extra sheep on the map, that's pretty crazy. So, Viper taking the initiative with the walling. Wow, look at this. Huge one. I mean, it's only a palisade, it can be broken through very easily later on, but does that mean he knows about this? Well, he's seeing this gold, and he's trying to secure all of this, but little does he know that if he holds on to walling in this area, little does he know that he hit a jackpot in the corner as well. So, well, obviously palisades are nothing, they can be broken down later, but for now Wonder will be denied scouting info for that important corner. Meanwhile, Pike is doing really forward walls, trying to secure this huge area of the eastern corner for himself. Barracks out for Slam. Pike's still roaming around walling. I don't know why he doesn't just wall there, if you can see that gold. The cliff. So Slam is actually well ahead in terms of getting up to the feudal age. Went up on 22 bills with Chinese and getting some feudal age upgrades. Did do a stable. Is he going to fast cast or is he going to make a couple of scouts first? Nope, he's going with the scouts and the feudal age play with that stable, presumably. Villager there coming forward as the scouts are produced. He's going to try and find something to hit. He's just missing Pike's mill area over here and did see the Vils, but Pike is really sensing danger here somehow. I'm going to go to his point of view because he's really urgently walling that off with like 4 or 5 Vils. I guess he sees the barracks and thinks Chinese barracks may be stable. Looking at Slam's fast feudal as well. And there comes in the first scout. So will Slam get a Vil pick? He has this hill to work with a little bit. But 3 villagers in the vicinity. 4th if you count this one chasing after Slam's one. She's carrying 25 food. It'd be a pain to lose all of these for Pike because it would be... They're all carrying quite a lot of food. It just hurts that a little bit more if you lose them. So Doubt's walled up this as well. I think in this deep pocket position Doubt will just pure boom. I will check to see... Sorry. I will check to see if he's on stone somewhere. He's actually going out to the stone. But I don't think he'll prioritise a castle. I think it will come later. I think that's just a wall up and get TCs. Maybe stone walls and a 4th TC. So Slam completes that wall. Sorry, Pike completes the wall and Slam doesn't really get in. Slam's loose villager will be picked up by Pike's villager and a spearman. Slam is now stone walling, so he's getting control of this corner to an extent. He can get around here, and it's still open for now, so Slam's scout will loop around. Spear's out for Zuppy, not only protecting Pike here, but chasing that Vil down, of course. What's Wonder doing? 4 Vils on gold. Gone up with 1 stable. Mental is heavily on stone, so he's thinking about an early castle to do plumed archer raiding with. Also done a wall here that I quite like. Trying to start securing this area, although this isn't blocked off. And Zuppy is up with... What building did he go up with? See the blacksmith. I don't see anything else. Oh, there we go. 2 stables. 2 sneak stables. Ooh, interesting. It's up with Chinese going into 2 stables behind enemy lines. He's behind Slam's lines, who thinks he's fully stonewalled out, and of course he's Chinese, so he could do some camels to respond to it. But for now, that's 2 stables by 1, and Zuppy will have the element of surprise. I love these sneak villagers. We've seen quite a few roaming around trying to put up vills. This one is still on the loose but will finally be picked up. That was the one Zuppy's spearman was chasing. Got away somehow, despite the fact that the spearmen are so fast. So, bloodline, scaled barding armour. That villager is being released maybe to build something else. Monastery too. It's a good option if Slam tries a camel defense. Able to get bowsaw and wheelbarrow straight away with his chain barding armor for the knights. Zuppy's going to do some damage here. I think Rhea has got lots of villagers in vulnerable positions. Let's see Zuppy's scouting. He knows everything. Like, he doesn't really see too much of the bases of the TyRanT players, but he knows roughly where they are. And obviously he can just roam around with the knights and quickly uncover the rest of it. Wonder if he's going to do Siege Workshop plus monks plus knights and wait until he's got a really powerful force before letting on the fact that he's actually here. He'll hope that the enemy don't discover him. Let's just look at line of sight for Slam and Rhea to see how much... They've got no line of sight anywhere near here, so... yeah, completely in the dark. They won't stumble upon this until Zuppy's ready to go with whatever he has planned, so that's going to be a great move. Pike's actually got the corner for Nabs for now, getting a nice wall there. But Slam's walling this, that's interesting. They're both going to trap 1 village into this area. Where's Mentalist's castle if he has one? Nowhere. I don't see it. Mentalist, how much stone do you have? 454. I don't get it. He's taking all the vills off stone with him. Oh no, he's making a couple more. He wants it fairly early, but he's still prioritised booming first. Kind of a mini boom into plumes almost. Right, now, Zuppy is ready to go. Rhea is responding, trying to add in an extra TC there, which is being walled up, but Mangonel will take care of a couple of vills there, deny the TC as long as... yeah, that village is having to retreat. Zuppy's now running right. I take quite a lot of damage from that TC still, only +1 armor. He cancelled his chain barding armor, what the hell? He was doing +2 armor and now he doesn't have it. And it's not being researched. That's interesting. Zuppy's actually getting sling from Pike as well. I think this can work well. He's loose in there with 2 stables, a siege workshop, monastery, 3rd stable being added. The village is still alive. The TyRanT players are completely caught by surprise with this. With sling, he can do good damage very, very quickly. Slam will go with the monk and the camel to start defending, which are obviously both good choices against those knights. But Zuppy just has the head start on production. And Riet's Bloom has been devastated. He's the Mongol player and he's on 30 villages. So if we look at... Yeah, I guess I was about to say, do the Nabs team have a Mongol player booming up, but it's actually Mongol slinging on this occasion. It's Pike slinging Zuppy, so I guess the Mongol player is a very valuable player to take out of the equation, but it doesn't mean that Nabs are getting their own Mongol player into the game well ahead of the enemy Mongol player, because one Mongol's dying and the other one's slinging. It's really being whittled down in population now. 27 vills. He doesn't have a standing TC, I don't think, at this point. There might be one up to the northeast from here, but Zuppy's rolling. Doubt has 1 monk out. That's not going to help too much. He didn't go heavily on stone early to get a castle, so let's just go to his point of view. Way away from me having the stone to have a castle. Obviously, that would help slow down the push if he had a castle like here or something, but not going to be the case. And now Zuppy going forward with another siege workshop. He's on 3 stables, flooding now. Curiously, he's kind of ignoring Slam. I wonder how much line of sight he actually has to Slam's base. Yeah, he doesn't... Okay, he sees some farms, presumably. Although sometimes as a spectator you can see farms in the fog of war and the player can't see them. But he doesn't seem to realise that he was right next to Slam, who he could have attacked as well. Although, like I said, attacking the Mongols, never bad. But now Doubt is being slowed down with his boom now. And Slam as well. Zuppy is sort of slowing down or outright killing 3 players here. We look at the other boomers on the map. Pogba, Viper, 80 in the lead, just about. Mentalist more or less the same. But then Wonder is getting ahead of the others, as both Slam, Riet and Doubt are all slowed down by this. So Zuppy's doing a great job for his team here. He's not going to kill everybody, of course, but if he does this, then it's kind of 2v1 against Viper, with Wonder and Mentalist both being in strong Imperial Age positions, and only Viper being full steam ahead for TyRanT. This is all just walled up, so Viper has got the corner of heaven himself. Still doesn't presumably realise it, but it still looks great, doesn't it? Having all that within your base. So Doubt is going for the castle power build, and he's easily going to get it. So Zuppy will have to slow down, but he can attack Slam, or he can go to the north in this TC. Castle's up. Zuppy. I guess if he had like 5 or 6 battering rams, he could go for this, but not with 3. Slam building a castle against the walls of Pike, getting ready to push there. Viper's up to Imperial Age, 25%. Wonder and Mentalist both on their way, so that's what I was talking about. Whilst Zuppy's doing this, then Mentalist and Wonder both matching or surpassing Viper. A little bit behind. To be fair, actually, Viper's the one who's boomed the best in this game, but Persian boom, of course. Slam's 73 vils. I guess he's going to be a long way from Imperial Age, having done all of that. Those camels and such to help out. He's got a lot of camels, so this could cause problems for Zuppy. Depends if he gets 4 conversions or not. That could really swing it, but Slam there with a couple of monks as well. More knights coming in. I think Zuppy could lose a lot here, potentially. Going to defend on positioning and the monks' performance in this fight. I think Zuppy's doing an okay job of booming as well whilst receiving the sling and trying to do this damage. He's only 10 mils behind Slam despite attacking 3 players in essence. Or 2 and sort of fighting off Slam. Just being heavily walled up. I wonder where Mentalist and Wonder are thinking of attacking. Mentalist is showing intent towards this sort of area. Well, I suppose this is the best spot. It's the widest choke point. Be easier to break through. And if you go through there, I mean, it's going to cut Viper off from the corner. It's going to cut TyRanT off from that trade route potentially as well, along the northwest edge of the map. At the moment, the northeast isn't safe either, even if they have the wall. Pike's walled that up, and they've got Zuppy in the middle of it. So, although it's still very much in the balance, I think Nabs have a slight strategic advantage here. Mentalist with 20 plumed archers, that's a decent amount to then be able to upgrade in the Imperial Age. Coming forward with another castle, that's going to be his 3rd castle. Doubt is just on 2 at the moment. Let's just check the status of Doubt relative to Mentalist. He's got no resources pretty much, and he's 20 vils behind, and he isn't in the Imperial Age. So even though Zuppy did do huge damage to Doubt with that pushing here, we didn't see him wiping him out or anything. That's the difference. Like, he's basically taken Rhea out of the game for a fair while. He is rebooming though. He's put Doubt 20 vils in an Imperial Age behind the Mayans player, and he's slowed Slam down as well. Don't think he's going to get these TCs from Rhea though, because those Cavaliers and Plumes coming in should clean him up. I guess it's not going to be too profitable for Zuppy to continue producing behind enemy lines now. He's probably best off getting into the game in a more standard way, because I think he'll be shut down behind enemy lines now. Obviously wants to get maximum use out of this remaining army that he has behind here. If he could slow Rhea down even more and pick up another 15 bills, that'd be awesome. But we can see he's getting Fletching in Imperial Age. He's probably thinking about the Chukanu transition now, get Imperial Age, get fully boomed up, and then start pushing over here against Slam from the front. But Slam's in the Imperial Age already, getting Bracer, Caps, Ram, 2-man Sword, Chemistry, getting all the things he needs as Chinese. Getting ready to push. The castles are on the front, the siege workshops, that's going to be a Chukanu and siege ram push pretty quickly. Meanwhile, down here, almost missed it. They came through the wall. There hasn't been a fight yet, but they're just through the wall. Mentalist got a forward castle up. 2 Trebs starting to attack Viper, and the 2v1 that I mentioned is happening. Viper has 29 paladins, but Wonder has 30 as well, and Mentalist is here with 50 plumed archers. We saw in the Nomad game that Nadya's boys won. It was Mentalist plumed archer army was just absolutely gigantic and was really decisive in the north. And he's kind of heading towards the same thing here. Same sort of thing where he's just going to get up towards 100 plumes and just start wrecking everything. Zuppy's still roaming around, doing what damage he can, but mostly getting shut down now, as you'd expect. Viper's going to engage. What are the upgrades like at this point? Blast, no, iron casting got over forging for... Yeah, Wonder's got a slight upgrade advantage as well, and a slight numbers advantage. He's backed up by Mentalist Plumes. Viper's having to fall back, and you look at the map control for TyRanT now, it's really, really small. It's like this. They haven't got a lot. And this push here against the west will definitely secure the west corner for Nabs with the trade route that's possible like that and all the resources there. Doubt is now getting into the Imperial Age game as Mylands with Elite Plumed Archer and everything. Decisive. Zuppy's still slowing down Rhea. Still slowing down Slam in terms of his attention being attracted up here as well. But Rhea has reboomed quite well in terms of villager numbers anyway. He's up to the Imperial Age with 100 vills, so he'll be getting into the game shortly as Mongols, but so should Pike. He's in the Castle Age, no, not yet Imperial Age, but I assume that this means he's stopped slinking and he's just fully booming, trying to get Mongols into the game, because that would be a route back into the game for TyRanT. If, well, not back into it, but a route to close the slight deficit that they have at the moment, because you know, having a Mongol active and the punched imp versus not having would be a deciding factor potentially. But Viper's just losing so much ground now. He's still top score for the TyRanT team, and he's still got 150 population, but most of it is villagers just running away. And a lot of it stands to be trapped and killed as well. He's got a lot of army down here where all his stables are, and for now Nabs seem to be sort of ignoring it and pushing against his economy, taking away all this farmland, taking down the TCs. If they can subsequently trap and kill all this stuff, Viper will be more or less out of the game, because he's losing a lot of villagers as they run. He's losing the infrastructure of his economy, and Doubt is forced to try and hold the line now, but he doesn't even have as many plumed archers as Mentalist, and Wonder is there with Persian Paladins doing the extra damage against the plumed archers. Looking great for Nabs. Slam is just not making progress down here. Well, he is, but it's slow. There's one layer of fortified wall that's about to go down, but just in time. Zuppy is there with onagers, which is a great reply to a Chinese player pushing with just Chukonu and siege rams who doesn't back it up with trebs and stuff. And Pike's getting castles, more castles from Zuppy. I think Nabs got a stranglehold on this game from where I'm sitting. And Mentalist building a castle almost on the site of Viper's TC to assert his dominance. Somewhat, I'm going to say somewhat wasteful plumed archer fight here. Mentalist was obviously going to win it, but you know, he could win it much more decisively with fewer losses by the Paladins coming over, and Wonder is now doing that. Viper down to 125 population. He's lost about 30 villages in the last couple of minutes. He'll lose more. I still wonder when Wonder is going to realise just that he could take out more and more eco with all the stables and paladins down here if he just switches focus for a moment. But he's getting that corner. Look at that. The wall's coming up. Viper's mining gold down here, but he'll eventually be found. And Wonder did sort of overboom. He went to like 150 vills as Persians, but he's now getting banking. Like, he's barely losing the army, so he'll be stockpiling extra resources that he can send to his allies. Look at that, 1,000 gold, 2,000 food. Checking the right hand side, Slam pushed through the walls, but encountering a couple of castles on hills with onagers behind, there's just nowhere for him to go. He's going to add stables. If he's got enough gold to make some cavaliers, he'll do that to try and run in and get onagers and stuff. But he's also getting light cav. They do the same job, but obviously not as effectively, given that they're trash. and no doubt losing a castle. That will take him down to 2 castles compared to Mentalist 6. So Mentalist will be able to reinforce for days. Viper's losing more or less all of his paladins now. Wonder staying on 50 paladins. We've seen that a few times this series. Viper dying in the same way. It's echoes of game 2, really. The Nomad game. Echoes of the Mentalist and Wonder Paladins and Plumes versus Viper and Doubt Paladins and Plumes. And with the Nadya's boys team being the ones that are actually pushing and winning. So many villagers here are going to die. With Slam not making up any ground in the south, and although Nabs don't have a great army down here, they have a very strong position. And TyRanT crumbling in the northwest, just looking like Nabs are unstoppable here. I think this game is theirs. Rhea is finally getting going. Obviously he had to come back from being taken down to like 25 villages or something ridiculous, but he's ready. But is it too late? 130 fills, but only 7 military. Getting upgrades, prioritising Siege Onager ahead of Elite Mangudai. But with all of Wonder's paladins here, and even with like some micro plumed archers, and Trebs can maybe focus on just a few stray Siege Onagers, are not going to put an end to this Nabs push, not by a long shot. And look how many villagers have now died here. Populations for TyRanT falling 110, 110, 140, 170, whereas everybody for Nabs over 170, Mentalists at 200. These guys are playing out of their skin, and if this goes 2-2, then we're going to have a really good series, because it'll be a best of 3 to decide the winner. And GG. There we go. Nadya's boys take land Nomad convincingly. Great. Look at the Pikes and the Nadya's boys teams just saying, look at the corners we've got. Look at where we can trade from. Maybe they're arguing over which corner to trade from. But yeah, they took it convincingly. Zuppy did great damage with this sneak. Got slung by Pike. I think they transitioned out of it at the right moment. Fact that Zuppy slowed down 3 players just left Viper fighting alone against the Wonder and Mentalist who had fully boomed, and that's always a losing prospect. 1v2 full boom in Imperial Age at this level. So great strategy by Nabs, decisive play by Zuppy, I think, and 2-2 with a best of 3 to finish off. Exciting stuff. Whoa, I thought my OBS had frozen then. Whew, that was scary. You wouldn't call a win by a sneak decisive whatsoever. Well, you know, he did well to actually sneak to that position. To TyRanTs didn't have enough line of sight around their base to actually detect it, and then he played well afterwards. Like Zuppy could potentially have been shut down faster, but he played pretty well. He did good damage to 3 players, and you know, obviously it's a means that can be so deadly with which to win by if it goes undetected, but it was still a commanding win in the end. It's about how you react to the sneak as well, because you know Zuppy was found when he had like 8 knights and 2 mangonels and a monk or something, but he continued to do good damage to all TyRanT players for 10 minutes. So I think it's good play, and I think it's fair to call it a decisive win. The CM maps are Clan Masters maps, so many of them are maps that you've seen in SY tournaments, so they're just renamed SY maps. But Tombolo is a new map. It's actually a Nomad start map. So given that Nadya's boys picked Nomad as their home map and won that,
yes,
maybe Nadya's boys can get through too here. Just maybe. It's a very it's a map that's open to some fortune being involved with starting positions being found and stuff like that, but it's a pretty good map. And then we've got map pack afterwards, which can be anything in the world, any types of maps, standard land maps, closed land maps, nomad starts, water maps. Players still haven't gone into the game room just yet, but they are continuing in a minute or two. Just an update, guys, they are still in the Voobly game room, so the launch of the game is still a little way away. Best overall AOC player at the moment, that's an interesting one. People are saying Viper surely, but no, Recent evidence, he didn't play well in the Arabia Invitational. He's been mostly AFK and he looks rusty. I think if he was to play a 1v1 series against Yo, for example, now, I think Yo would win. Riot still looks pretty decent. I think Riot v Yo would be quite fun at the moment, maybe, but I'd expect Yo to win. I think Bact is playing at one of the highest levels I've seen him for some time. But I think he has some limitations that I think, as we saw in the T90 series recently as well, Yo's just a little bit above him. Funny thing with Yo, you sometimes see him losing a lot of rated games to players around him in the ratings, and then it comes to tournament time and he just does so well. And there was also the question that asked in the chat originally, the person who said it was the best overall AOC player. Yo won the 1v1 Arabia Invitational convincingly, destroying Vinchester, who had taken out Riot, and then he's pretty dominant for SY as well. So in terms of all around skills, I have to give it to Yo at the moment, I think, in terms of who's the best overall AOC player who's active. I do agree he's inconsistent, but I think overall, at the moment, I'd still put him up there. And when tournament time comes, he's not that inconsistent. But in rated games, I agree with you. It gives you, sometimes when you just look at his scores on AOC Zone when the recs get posted, there's a little bit of false vulnerability that you can perceive about him. I don't think Slam could be in the conversation. Chris is obviously at the top of the ladder and just playing exclusively Arrow Huns, but I don't think he demonstrates enough in other settings to really be said that he's just up there. He hasn't looked like a really dominant player. Great player for sure, but not a dominant player in this team game tournament thus far. Tato is an interesting player, but he's not able to stand up to players like Yo on Arabia in serious games, I don't think, or Backed, or for example even. But if the settings are a bit weird, or with different specific strategies, then Tato is very, very skilled and talented. The thing with Tato is he's got a lot of talent for AOC in all different settings, but if in the standard settings he's not quite on that top tier. He's probably listening to this and either hating me or getting embarrassed. So the game is about to launch. Enough chit chat.